So, Jarrod, all of a sudden you're an overnight sensation. It must be just like you started working yesterday. Yeah, we know that's not true.
Right.
But you are all of a sudden, you're breaking all over the world. What does that feel like?
It kind of feels like it's happened overnight, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just dropped this album back in May, and, a month later, all these DJs and, there's like this huge soul jazz fraternity in the UK that kind of all found my album miraculously.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, promote it. I didn't, say, everybody, here it is, check it out. I just threw it out.
You didn't have the star-making machinery behind you?
No, not at all. I just threw it out there, and these guys found it, and everything has changed.
Really? In what way?
Well, for one thing, I probably get upwards of a couple of hundred messages on Facebook or otherwise through my website, every few days, just coming at me. People wanting to know who I am, or just wanting to express their gratitude for the music, or or the crazy people that are out there who want to know where I live. Hey man, what's your address?
Yeah, that must be so weird for you, because you were the guy that was always the one that everybody thought, man, this guy is great, but you were always kind of under the radar.
Right. I like it that way. So my plan has been foiled.
So how are you dealing with it?
I'm learning as I go here. How to deal with. I don't know what the word is other than stardom. It's what it feels like.
Wow.
When I went to the UK, I've got people, knowing who I am when I walk into, into restaurants and things. I hear people saying, "I think that's Jarrod Lawson."
Oh,
it's
man.
really weird. Really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, but I'm trying to figure it out as I go, and trying to keep myself humble. And to be honest, it is a humbling thing to have people know who you are when you walk into a restaurant.
Huh.
It kind of almost makes me do the opposite of what some people would do, which is I kind of shrivel back and go,
Yeah.
This is weird. I don't usually like attention very much.
Yeah.
So.
But you're accommodating.
Yeah, I'm a personable guy.
And you're from here, so you got to be
Right.
friendly.
Right, exactly. Exactly,
Yeah, yeah. But you were that guy. You were that guy. Like, oh man, he's in that. Oh, it's him. He's in that band, right? You go see Liv Warfield, or the other bands that you've been with, and it's you were like the mystery man. And now you're no longer a mystery. That's that's got to be it's got to be a gratifying to you, though.
Yeah.
That people like your stuff so much.
Absolutely, it is. And I think for a long time I've been almost associated solely with some of these other bands like the Soulmates, and I've done stuff with Joey Porter's tribute band, and people have seen me out doing things other than my original music.
Yeah.
And I think for so long I've been associated with all of those other things that it was really important to me that people start associating me with what is really, in here, what's coming from me.
Well, it certainly is in this album, and it was actually I'm sure a lot of people who knew you or had seen you play were surprised at the seriousness of the themes on this album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's been in there all the time, and for instance, in here, what are some of your? These are all messages, man. You're preaching in this album.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think for me that's what's missing from soul music these days. And I grew up listening to Stevie Wonder and Curtis Mayfield, and the cats that brought that kind of social consciousness to music.
Uh-huh.
And I want that when I'm listening to soul music these days, and I'm not getting it.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of one of my missions, I feel like, is to bring that back, to the soul and jazz genre.
Yeah.
So
well,
I didn't really answer your question, though,
no,
did I?
but it's all on the album, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're dealing with some serious issues here, Yeah. For instance, give people a little taste of something you're talking about here. Pick a tune.
Well, for instance, Sleepwalkers
Oh, yeah.
is the second tune
Good
on the
tune.
album.
Good tune, yeah.
And, you know, it's got that kind of socially conscious vibe to it,
Yeah.
lyrically anyway. You know, it's kind of talking about people's sort of complacency and unwillingness to sort of make sacrifices for the greater good,
Yeah.
I think. You know, we sit on our couches and we point fingers and talk about what's wrong with the world, but we don't do much about it, do we? So I think that's kind of what Sleepwalkers is about. And there are themes, you know, along those lines, kind of throughout, I would say, the album.
You do realize, I'm sure, that sometimes when people come see you, they look at you,
I think I know where this is going.
and all of a sudden, there's this voice that comes out of you. You know, and it takes a little bit to put the two together.
Right. Some cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
One of the most asked questions is, where does the soul come from?
Well,
you know?
we know what
And
the answer to that
yeah,
is.
I mean, you know, either it's in you or it's not.
It's in all of us.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
Somewhere, you know. I mean, some
It
people
is.
can express it better. But,
It
you
is.
know.
I think some of us know how to tap into that.
Yeah.
Or it's just readily available
Yeah.
and kind of at the surface,
Yeah.
which it kind of always has been for me. And I think it sort of bleeds into how I just feel music in general. When I feel music, I'm like, if it's funky, I'm like this, and that's kind of part of the same sort of soulful constituent, I think. You know, that's
And this must have developed over time.
Yeah, I think so. But
Or did it all just come out like, and your family went, Jarrod?
Well, again, I think, you know, it has a lot to do with what I listened to
Yeah.
as a child, and
Was that stuff played in your house?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest influence in your house as far as your musical taste?
I mean, definitely, you know, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. No, I mean in
Oh,
your
you mean
family.
in my house?
In your family, yeah.
In my house.
Yeah.
Oh, my father.
Yeah.
He's the musician in the family.
Really?
He was the musician in the family, and I'm kind of carrying on the torch now.
Was he a singer?
Yeah, he was. And a guitar player, and a keyboard player, and a drummer, kind of just a multi.
Yeah.
Fascinating
And he's
dude.
gone?
No, he's still around, but I
okay.
speak in the past tense because he doesn't really deal with
Yeah.
music much these days.
I see. I see. Well,
he's getting-
at least he's not gone.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he's just.
He must be really proud of you.
He is extremely proud. Both my parents are.
Well, everybody around here is proud of you.
I appreciate that. That's good to know.
So what's up with the Japan thing?
Yeah, I just heard this last week. Apparently, we're gonna do Billboard Live in Tokyo and Osaka, and then a week later we're gonna fly to Jakarta, Indonesia, and do the Java Jazz Festival. It sounds like so. Some really cool things going on, and then of course a few weeks later we're gonna be heading out for another tour in Europe. You know, we've got the Jazz Cafe. We've got 2 sold-out shows already to the Jazz Cafe.
Where's that?
That's in London.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then we've got various
Sold
other
out already?
shows. Yeah. Yeah, crazy. I know. London is like soul headquarters, you know, right now. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's really where my music is doing the best. So,
I think it's amazing that all of a sudden, you and Liv Warfield, you know, and I know you played with her, you know, have it happening for you. Everybody's so happy here for you guys, you know.
yeah, I'm super happy for her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we all knew that she was going to take off eventually. It was just a matter of time. It's inevitable.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I
All right.
appreciate it.
All right.